Rudenko. These boxes were chosen because Philip, for example, got a victory from Rudenko. Although he lost, it was on points. Forrest was left out because he is left-handed, and good Joe because he is the one for whom we are doing the analysis. We make a proposal based on evidence where we see all the connected blows of these fights, and we categorize them, and we place the attacks, the combinations, the counter blows, the feints of each A fighter, in this case of Zhang or his rivals, and we are looking for trends. For example, here there is a very clear trend that the blows that hit Zhang are combinations, 91 combinations entered against 29 attacks or 25 counter hits, and that these are on average distance, and we see, for example, that in Zhang A it is not so much the combinations that were 48 connected combinations, A 42 isolated attacks, but rather the counterattacks that work the most are 129 counterattacks, of which 125 were at medium distance from them. For example, A. What is the best counterattack to the Shap, and to the 122 to the Shap? For example, do a right lateral inclination and insert the left straight face, or 1-2 do an inclination and insert the right cross and the left straight. The same for the left cross, does a kind of swirl with the right cross, and here we observe 41 with A counterblows, all 22 counterblows at 1, 2 and 16 combine counterblows to the left cross. The evidence is here in the folders, then I will give you a link where you can see all this evidence. So with this evidence we put together a summary of the technical statistics of each rival, where we see that, for example, Zhang makes medium distance attacks 20% of the time, short distance attacks are very few. The same thing happens with combinations. Medium distance combinations are always superior to the short distance ones. The medium distance combinations, for example, of Zhang are the 1-2, the straight left face followed by the right upper and the straight left, or for example, the direct attack is the rest of the left face is the one that uses it the most, much more than the JAV even. But above all things, what it does best is counterpunching in the middle distance and counterpunching the Shap with right lateral inclination and straight left face, or with the first with crossed right face and straight left face. Those are the most regular. What has been seen later, what the rivals there are mid-distance attacks on 23 techniques, this has been observed. Or, for example, with mid-distance counterattacks, but above all things, mid-distance combinations are the ones that work the most. Although with based on these medium-distance combinations, build your Zhang counterattack, no, so you just have to adjust this a little. The counterattacks that work the most are the 1-2, the 1-2 followed by left cross and right straight, or the Shav with left cross and right straight. Those, they are the most regular, but there are also others that are powerful that, although they are not very regular, are power shots. For example, the Shap and the right bull, the right cross with a forward or long face, that one works, and we have also chosen some power combinations. Okay, based on this we see that what works the most with Zhang is the combination of medium distance. So we make a methodological proposal that does not necessarily have to be like this, but that shows how you can put all the scouting into technical practice, and that this is, you can organize it in another way. But it would be convenient to practice these style coupling techniques, where, for example, on Monday, we say, well, we are going to defend Zhang's most regular attack, which is the straight left face, and we see that this can be defended if we profile ourselves a little more, or if, for example, we hunt the blow with the right glove, or if we make inclinations not from those defenses. The counterattack is armed if I make an inclination to the right. I can return with a right cross, for example, and so on with the evidence from the videos we see. We put together this proposal, the defense of the first most frequent combination, which is 1-2. How do we defend it, and how counterattack we are going to show it with videos, and the same for the left direct and the right operation. Those are the most regular attacks of Zhang. How to defend and how to counterattack. On Tuesdays we can practice the attacks that are the most frequent that arrive are the shab, the direct right and the left cross, and the most regular combinations are the 1-2, the 1-2 left crossed, the 1-2 left crossed, the key, the left crossed, and the right direct. This would be convenient to work on it in 2 blocks. The technique is practiced and applied in sparring, and the next block what we do is practice the combination of power. Yes, it would be the shap and the right ball, for example the 3 that we saw, A, plus the counterattacks to Zhang's attacks, which, for example, would be when the shap counterattacks with shap like Henry Poster and above his guard, A. And so we are going to show other counterattacks, for example, to the left of Zhang, or for example the straight punches of Zhang on Friday. What we do, it's like Zhang is a counterpunch. I love to set up the response to the counterpunch, so if I throw the shap, possibly shush, make a left to tilt and connect with his left, then I throw. Now I catch the left and counterattack with the right. No, so first I practice the defense of the counterattack and then the response to the counterattack at 1 to the same as what is going to be responding the most. And I'm going to see what it responds him and how to counterpunch, and the same with the left cross that Zhang responds with the right cross in a turn. So let's see how we defend it and how to counterpunch it. And we practice that on Saturdays in sparring in a comprehensive way. So on Monday, defense and counterattack of the attacks of the most regular isolated attack, and defense and counterattack of the most regular combinations. Then we see, for example, 26 times he connected this direct attack, which is the straight left face. This would be 15% of Zhang's effective attacks, which is the highest that has been found in what is attacks. Remember that in reality Yang is a counterattack. So how can we solve this? We can solve it if, for example, we do lateral inclinations to avoid the left straight, if we profile ourselves a little more, or if we catch the blow with the right glove. Yes. Here, for example, we see how this boxer A. Rudenko dodges it and counter hit with the right ball. Then one option would be to dodge and counter hit. The other option would be to get more profiled so that not so many enter blows between the guard, and the third option would be to catch it with the right and counterpunch from there. Do not throw the shap, catch and counterpunch, or wait for the blow to catch it and counterpunch. Then the second defense that we are going to practice is its most frequent combination, that it is the 1-2 that connected it 14 times in what was observed, which would be like 8% of the techniques that it connects A, and here the idea it would be more or less the same. No, maybe we can catch the first shap and tilt it to avoid the right. Yes, make a tilt to the right, and this will enable us to do the following precisely. If I catch the first one and dodge the second, when I dodge the second, connect with the left cross and the right straight back. This is exactly what does Shan do, but the other way around Shan when you throw him. Exactly the 1-2 when he hits the second blow Shang makes an inclination to his left, he puts the right cross and the left straight, in this case it would be. In a mirror, make an inclination to the right, connect the crossed left. And then straight right, yes, that would be like the move using the same strategy. Then the most regular attack that he uses, which is the straight left, and if one is in conquer, launch the OPC, then you connect strongly with the straight left, and if you in shells to cover you, the left straight one hits you. The right OPC, this A1 has to be aware that when that happens, the OPC is going to throw at you. He did it several times. And then here you have to try to avoid the straight blows with inclinations, yes, and in the case of encountering me, finding myself well blocked, or even making the clinch, no, because from here what can be done is if clinch the right cross, because if not, I don't block it, this happens. The OPC connects me, yes, you will be able to with the left inclination, with the left inclination. You will be able to avoid the straight left blow, but not the OPC, so if you are going to lean to the left, block yourself well so that this does not happen to you, and so that you can from there take the right cross. That would be like the advice for this other regular attack, which is precisely the straight left followed by the straight right. If you are upset, you have to know that they are going to launch the OPCA from the left to the right. On Tuesday, we are going to see the most regular attacks and combinations. So, let's see how to throw the shave, the direct right, the left, the 1-2, the 1-2 crossed left and straight right, and the shush crossed left and direct right. This, for example, the shush connected it 9 times. Generally it connects with a small step forward. And it is a dangerous hand, because on this the counterattack of the direct left will arm you. So when you throw it waiting for the direct left, and from there you can counterattack the direct right also. Works. It is advisable to use it there to get your foot out. So when you throw the straight right, you take your foot out and you go on the side, thus also avoiding his straight left a little. So to wrap the front foot, you can use the straight right, the left cross, the same thing. Here, for example, Joyce does it very well when throw the left cross opens the bar and wraps, and is a blow that can work behind the guard, but especially the combinations. This one do also always. When throw the 2, try to open the bar to wrap shush and avoid his left would be the. It is more convenient to also practice this first with left cross and right straight also in the same way. When I throw the second blow, I better arrange the third blow, which is the left cross, and I better hit the right on point, which can also go in op there as I open the compass. Joyce and AA also. The other one is already crossed left straight right. The crossed left takes your foot out and allows you to project the direct right. Well, this he did it 13 times. It is A. I think it is one of the best combinations already crossed left to accommodate the angle, and then direct right, which can be to the face, it can be to the liver. A to the liver, it would be very good if it can be connected, because since left-handed people have the liver in front, then be direct right to the lower area, or even cross it to the lower area. The liver can work well. And this combination was very regular by both Joyce and Philip. It was executed and also by Rudenko, so it means that it is a combination that complicates already crossed left straight right. Well, we can practice all this on Wednesday, where we are going to try to defend putting a sparring partner that lands straight right and Defend it and counterpunch that lance 1-2, defend it and counterpunch and that. Lance the straight left straight and the straight left uppercut follow the right uppercut to counterpunch, defend and counterpunch and a yoiche. What I would have to do is the attacks of sharp direct right, crossed left 1, 2, 1, 2 crossed left and sharp crossed left and direct right that are little bit what you have to automate to find the distance, the time, the angle, all this that requires to be really applied. Then on Thursday you can practice, for example, the blows, the power combinations, for example the shave and the long right ball. That one worked well for him, the left cross with the right OPCA and then the left cross with the straight right. That combination works very well because when changing the angle in the strong blow I want the guard and I crossed from the left followed by the direct right to the liver or the solar plexus. It works well. Because it damages Zhang a lot, then we also practiced the counterpunches, which would be like counterpunching Zhang's shab, which would be lowering his shush with type in response with my shab to the left, dodge or block and bowl. With the right and with the straight blows try waist back and return with the right pointed. Then we see here, for example, the combination that has power, which is this blow with the long right behind the guard. That combination is a combination of power and can always hurt him from behind Zhang's guard. Hey, this one was applied 7 times by various boxers. And this is because he separates his left hand a little and he separates it a little and he can enter on the right from behind the guard. So this combination can be practiced double shap and the right blee wide open. We see that it does work. Then this combination crossed left opa crossed left straight crossed left straight crossed left opa. There it changes. It is a combination that worked quite a bit for Philip and what can be useful to Joyce because he has a logic quite similar to what he does, and this one that wasn't much but caused damage is this left cross blow and looking with the right for the solar plexus or if possible the liver, because well, taking advantage of that left-handers have their liver forward better. Not and the counterattacks to the shap like he did here. Joy when he throws a shush use it to outline but also at the same time to connect, then throw the shap type like in riposta. I get on my side and from there I build an attack. Another thing would also be this counter blow when I throw the left cross, the left straight from below bowling. That can work. So as well as at the same time go down a little the left, it can work because after throwing the left it leaves it a moment down, then the right ball can hit him hard. In fact the right ball is like his biggest risk. And then this question of the straight hits we can do waist back and come back with counter, so that can also work if you have to catch the timing. I think Joy needs a lot of visual training because the Chinese Zhang has a very good visual response. He is always observing what his rival is doing and reacts, and on the other hand, Ju sometimes closes his eyes, so he needs a little visual ent. And then what we are going to work on the last day, Friday, would be the response to the counterattack. As Zhang is a counterattack, we have to see how that counterattack is going to be defended and how it is going to be counterattacked. What counterpunch, then you have to defend and counterpunch that. For example, if one throws the shap he will be cont and with this left straight, and since he did this 41 times it is what he does the most, therefore I throw the shap waiting for his left straight. Here go ahead, why do We change the guard. Why do we suggest that? Because the anatomy of the eye has more movement receptors in the peripheral part and more fixation receptors in the central part. So if I have the glove here and something comes from the outside, I can react more quickly by the motion receptors of the peripheral vision. On the other hand, if I am here, it is more difficult to react forward. Therefore, and since the biomechanics of Zhang's counterattack is leaning to the right and straight left in front of the shap, the most convenient thing would be to be throwing the shap. When I throw the shap, I change my hand. Also shush, I change my hand. Yes, that way I catch the Zhang's response, and from there I can do something like this, but catching the blow. Yes, I catch the blow and I respond. I catch the blow and I respond. Then to the first this, that's what he always does. Shush, wait for 2 and then he connects you with the cross and the straight. He did this 22 times. He has it very rehearsed. When you get close, it's very long. You have to try when you throw the 1-2 with your left hand always on your face, and when you throw the second hand, open the compass to get out of the one on the left, and when you open the compass from there I can pivot. So that's how the school does. From the east I open the compass, I stay to the side and turn. It would be the most convenient thing to avoid this answer, which is very regular, not the first crossed left straight right or only crossed left, but it hits you when you are coming with the second stroke, and above all because all these boxers lower their left hand when they throw their right hand. That is a huge mistake, so you have to practice not lowering your left hand. So since there are no videos of this, what is suggested is to throw the one when I return the first blow, leave it here very close. Throw the second blow when I throw the second blow, open the compass to get out of the line on the left.